Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock. This is City of Heroes. We're with Liberty Lass. We're either on our last or second to last video, depending on when she gets to level 50 and when we finish the story arc of Worldwide Red. So we're gonna stop Liberty Lass in the later of the two. So if we finish Worldwide Red before we hit 50, which I doubt, because the story arc bonus will probably put us over the edge, we'll continue until we hit level 50 with, I don't know, radio missions or something. If we get to level 50 before we finish the story arc, we'll finish the story arc with Liberty Lass, so you'll see her play a little bit at 50. That's my guess of what's going to happen. I think we're probably going to hit 50 this session, depending on how long it is, and there will probably still be a couple more parts to the Operation Worldwide Red story arc. But I don't remember where we are here. I haven't really been reading any of this. We're going to go meet with Jack Ferenz, and Ferenz is the name of a centaur in Harry Potter. So as we go, I want to talk about a couple of things. It is June 28th, and the Steam sale has happened, and I purchased all the Planet Zoo downloadable content for 45 or 50 bucks. Whatever was left, which is pretty cool. Roller Coaster, what is Planet Coaster, which is a $45 game, is on sale right now for 12 bucks. So I'm probably going to buy that and all the DLC for that too, which is probably going to run me into 40 or 50 bucks, but it'll probably be $150 worth of stuff. I did look at some of the games that a few people had suggested. I didn't really see anything that I felt tweaked my fancy, so I haven't purchased any of those. Some of them aren't on sale. A couple of them were. One or two of them are in early access. As a general rule, I tend not to get early access games. I do tend to be a little more flexible with indie developers just because I know that, they sometimes need an infusion of cash and they can't get the game totally finished if they don't get that infusion of cash, and because they don't have the backing of somebody like EA or Sony Online Entertainment or something, and those deep pockets, they kind of need that infusion of cash. But I'm very conflicted about early access because I think early access is often, I feel like it almost incentivizes developers not to get things done. I think about Satisfactory. I don't know if that game has ever gotten out of early access and been finished. I believe I started playing that game in like 2019. It was in early access and it had been out in early access for a little while. So if it came into early access in 2019 and it's 2024 and the thing still hasn't launched and it's been 5 years in early access, I'm sorry. As much as I like Coffee Stain and I think they do a good job as developers in responding to their customers, that's pretty excessive. 5 years in early access. They keep adding to the game, and I think what happens is they lose the plot. These companies, right? Even the small ones, they have a basic idea for a game, and when it keeps selling, right, and the players like certain things, they say, well, let's add this feature that we never planned. Let's add this feature that we never planned. Let's add this feature that we never planned. And before you know it, they've got dozens of quality of life improvements that were never originally planned and aren't getting them toward actually finishing the game. And I think that all those QOL things are great. And, on the other hand, I'm really glad they're not doing things like turning it into downloadable content. Since it's an early access game, they can't make downloadable content for it, right? Because you can't charge people for DLC when you haven't even launched the game. That's actually probably against Steam terms of service, even. But even if it weren't, nobody, people would rage at them. And I don't support the pattern that happens a lot with the bigger companies of launching half-finished embryonic games and then using the DLC, the first couple DLC, to finish the game. So between that and early access, I prefer them being open that it is an incomplete early access game and I know what I'm paying for. But I do think that there is a pattern of putting games out in quote-unquote early access way before they're really ready so that they can get money, right? And then, as I say, because the early access is giving them money and now they have a bunch of customers and they're getting feedback, they kind of lose the plot and they start adding a bunch of stuff to the game that they had never planned and never finish it, right? There's this old saying about works of art, writing and poetry and sculptures and stuff, that art is never finished; it's only abandoned, right? That you can always make a piece of writing better. There's like literally never a piece of writing, including Shakespeare or Herman Melville or whatever, that's absolutely perfect. There's always revision you could do, right? And I hate reading my published articles. I don't like reading them because I always find some wording. Oh, I could have worded that so much better, right? But at some point, you just have to stop and send it out. And I think that early access is letting them never finish, right? They keep saying we could fix this, we could fix this, we could fix this, and because they're selling the game and making money from it, they don't actually have to finish it, right? So I tend to be very wary now about taking games that are early access. On the other hand, you could have something like, what is it, Blockbusters or whatever, the sequel to the movies, that is apparently was released in a half-baked, incomplete form, and my guess is and that's a small company, I think, but my guess is they're probably going to do something like um, get it into its finished form, and that form will probably not be a free download. It'll probably be a for-pay DLC. And I don't really like that either. So I don't know. It's a struggle. I feel like the gaming industry has become, we've talked about this, rather a mess in this last decade. And anyway, unless there's some really good reason to do it, I tend to avoid early access. So one or two of the games that was suggested is in early access, and I just said no. There is just literally no way, by the way, to get these sappers before they hit me. Silver Phoenix used to be able to do it. Silver Phoenix could do it because their first shot would almost always miss, and I could hit them with crane kick and knock them back, and the knockback was almost guaranteed against a minion, or maybe it was guaranteed against a minion, and then they couldn't hit me while I was beating them up. But with this character, she just doesn't dodge well enough, right? Her range defense is probably only around 10%, and I'm not sure what that counts as. Is it energy? Energy defense is 15%. It's not enough. Right? They still have, if they're +2 to me, they still have, that 15% is basically negating the +2, so they still have like a 50% chance of hitting, maybe more. And yeah, it's super frustrating actually that even though I know they're there, and even though I go ahead and attack them right out of the gate, they still always manage to hit me. And part of the problem with that is that these abilities, these powers, are not guaranteed disorient. Unlike Silver Phoenix, whose crane kick almost always, I think always knock back minions. I cannot guarantee a disorient on a minion. Well, I could guarantee it if I hit this and then I hit power 1 here, energy barrage, but usually I hit this and then this because it does big damage, right? And then, if you do this and then this, they're out. If I do this and then this, they're disoriented, but they're still up, and I got to hit them again. There's another sapper, so watch. 1, and he hits me, right? If that swing, if it hit me, would have drained my endurance. And it starts an endurance drain dot damage over time. So anyway, I have a bunch of stuff on my wish list. Some of it's on sale, some of it's not. Some of it's on really deep sale, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, 75% off. Or not Roller, I'm sorry, Planet Coaster. Probably keep making that mistake. Planet Coaster, 75% off, so I probably will grab that. But yeah, the ones that I was recommended, I made a list. I didn't check them all out, but the ones I've checked out, I've checked about 5, and 2 of them are in early access, and I just said no to that. So no offense, but if it's early access, pre-beta, something like that, I'm not gonna buy it. The other 3 were simply not my taste. In games, that's not meant to disparage anybody who likes those games. I didn't think I would enjoy them, and so I did not I didn't pull the trigger on them, even though they were on sale. I already have enough games that I thought I was going to enjoy, and I haven't played that much, like X4 and Millennia, whatever it's called. I've already only played those games like 5 or 6 hours total after buying them for full price. So, and they're not bad games. It's just that They just didn't hook me. I really thought X4 was going to, but then I got really interested in going back to doing some simulation builders like Planet Zoo or City Skylines or something like that. Um, that's another game, City Skylines, that I would like to get at some point, but there's been a lot of controversy with that game because they put it out in an unfinished state, and then they put out a DLC that was also in an unfinished state. And they actually, I think we talked about this here, actually had to issue an apology to the customer base and refund or give everybody the DLC for free or refund the money. I think they said we're going to give everybody the DLC for free, and if you bought the DLC, we'll refund your money or give you a store credit or something like that. I appreciate the fact that they were upstanding and they did that, but why did you release a half-finished game in the first place? And I think some of the problem is just that these games have become as expensive as big-budget movies, and and they just can't. Here we go, ranged hit. All my powers just went out, and I'm going to die because they're mezzing me. Yep, I will die here. So you saw that sapper came at me. I couldn't even react. They've got me, so I'm not even. I'll just stop. Go ahead and kill me. So yeah, that was ridiculous, and that was an ambush that I couldn't even react to. Right, the sapper hit me so far distance, like I saw him, boom, I was hit, and that completely drained my endurance down to nothing. I actually object to that kind of design. Right, I saw him coming. Right, didn't even have a chance to react to it. That seems like, you know, jerk GM move type deal, right? Like the DM we talked about for his 44 rules, who said instant death is going to happen. That's what this was. There was literally nothing I could have done about it, right? Once that sapper hit me, nothing I could do because it immediately took out my Mez defense. Let's hope I remember to turn them all on now. It took out my Mez defense immediately, right? And then I was dead, right? At this level, if you get Mez, you're dead, right? Because then they just chain Mez you. And he just kept hitting me, the sapper, right? Because with all these things turned off, I had no defense at all. So we're going to go in there, and we're going to triple luck, and we'll hit Unbreakable Will, or whatever this is, Strong Will, whatever the heck. I never remember. Strength of Will. I never remember any. I have to say, the willpower powers and the energy melee powers, I don't know any of them. I think they're horribly named. They don't tell you what they are, right? This should be triple punch or something like that, so I know what it is. This energy punch is okay, that's fine. Whirling hands is okay, that's fine. Bone smasher, I guess that's okay. Total focus, no idea what that is from the name. Energy barrage, energy transfer, no idea what that is from the name. Up here, mind over body, there's no idea. You have no idea what that means from the name. How do you know that mind over body is a toggle and high pain tolerance is a passive? There's nothing in the name of those powers that would tell you that. I just feel like it's so non-obvious. Whereas if you could say, well, what about super reflexes? Well, focus fighting, focus senses, right? And then like evasion and elude, I always used to confuse them because they both start with an E. They both come at the end of the power set. You get them one after another, right? At originally 35 and 38, and one of them's an AOE toggle, and the other one is the panic power. And I always used to confuse that, right? I think focus fighting, focus senses are good because the focused, okay, you're focusing, therefore it's a toggle, it's costing endurance, versus like agility and so forth, which are passives. But I always thought evasion should have been like focused evasion or something like that. Focused dive for cover. I don't know. Focus something so that they have a consistent naming and you can keep track of what they are. Where's the ambush? There it is. Okay, so we're going to triple luck because these sappers are insane. And we're going to go up and we're going to hit the sapper. See? Can't hit him. Missed him already. right? And I don't know what it is about the sappers. I don't know if they have higher defense or what, but I feel like I always miss them when I get a chance, right? Even with sometimes with the assassin strike and stuff, you try to hit him and it would miss. And the only advantage of that is the way the game is now. Doing an assassin strike and missing doesn't reveal you. Or I think originally it did, and then you would just get pounded, right? Because you missed. Rather ridiculous that I have to use that much on a minion. To me, that tells you it isn't balanced right. They should probably con a level higher than their level, um, compared to like the way how the guys who summon things, the Richty summoners, what are they called? The communications officer, whatever they are, that summon the portals, right? Those guys con higher than their level, so because they're harder because they summon guys, and they're absolutely not hard at all, and they don't need to con higher than their level. And the guys who come through the portal con higher than their level, and I don't know why, because they're just generic Richty with swords or pistols, right? They're just boring, Richty fighters. Those guys shouldn't be conning higher than their level, but sappers should con higher. I feel like I've said that before. Sappers should definitely if the rest of the minions are orange, the sappers should con red because they're actually harder than the other minions. Right? I mean, the sappers are more dangerous to this character and many other characters than bosses, so they absolutely should con higher. Yeah, I remember when in my supergroup, a lot of my friends hated Malta because of the sappers. Because what will happen is like this, right? The spawn has 3 guys in it, and there are 2 visible, and the other guy is around the corner, right? You can't see him until you come within the aggro range of these 2 guys, and when you do that, you'll aggro all 3 of them, right? Generally. And so you run up here, and when you finally are close enough to see him, if it's a sapper, you just got hit, and your endurance gets drained, and now you're mezzed, right? And oh, yeah, my friends used to really hate them. Now, I don't mind him as much, but this character has struggled with them more than my other characters. Quintessence Last didn't have as much trouble with them because she had an endurance drain, right? So if they hit me, I could just hit them back with an endurance drain and take all their endurance and recover. And her hits were reducing their to hit, and she was hard to hit because she had a defense set, not a resistance set, right? I am 100% convinced now, having gotten 2 beats from level 50 with a resistance-based character, and having played a super reflex-based character, right? A defense-based scrapper, a defense-based brute, and healing-based, right? A regen-based stalker. I am convinced that of the 3, the best is a defense-based set. And I know that that was always considered the weakest of the 3 when I was, at least when I was reading the City of Heroes forums. Everybody said resistance was better because you could count on it. It always worked, right? If you have like we have 58% resistance, and 58% of everything that hits me is reduced, right? Whereas if I have 58% defense, then 58% of the time I'll be missed, and then 42% of the time I'm going to take full damage, right? And so if you get unlucky and you get a hit streak against you, right, a hit chain, you could take full damage, full damage, full damage, and be face planted. And then we saw that happen to Silver Phoenix a couple of times, and Quintessence Last a couple of times. But it's very rare. And there is such a huge advantage. Ooh, it's bleeding through the wall there. There's such a huge advantage to being missed 52% of the time. More than that, right? It's 52% defense. Means it's subtracting 52% from their chance to hit, which is already, not going to be that high. So you're missed 70-80% of the time, and you're being missed by the endurance drains. Resistance doesn't help you. It didn't do 48%, right? Less endurance drain to me. I took the whole drain. This only resists damage, right? I will take defense any day of the week. It's by far a better protection than either the rapid regen of healing or the resistance stuff. And I feel like this set is too spread out, right? It's got psionic defense and psionic resistance. It's got both, right? And people used to like, oh, it's got both. But the problem is it's not specialized in any one thing. And so it's got great smashing and lethal resistance and good sonic resistance, and everything else is kind of so-so, right? 30% resistance and 10% defense is actually not great in either category. So I'm gonna say, this has been a cool character, and I liked playing her. I have been disappointed in willpower. I guess probably people are gonna say you're not doing it right because I don't have sets in it or something. I don't see the point of the sets because most of willpower's abilities are doing multiple things, right? So this does plus regen, foe minus to hit. Okay, here I can see putting a healing set, resistance set in this one, but in here this is both resistance and health. There are no resistance and healing sets. So if you put a resist set on here, all of the healing in here, all of the increased hit points and stuff would go away. I'd lose 200. I'd lose 150 hit points. If I put a heal set in here, I'd get more hit points, but I'd lose all my resistance. Now, I know you could probably play some games with putting healing sets on everything and then getting your resistance from the sets, right? And so if you lose 30% resistance from the enhancements, right, the IOs and SOs, but you gain on 5 different sets like 6% each of resistance by putting the right really expensive purple sets on there, I guess, that would work, but that's not the way I like to design characters. And consequently, for my style of play, I have found the willpower set to be not super impressive. I feel like super reflexes, regen, and what was it, energy aura are all better. And I was able to fight harder enemies with those defense sets. Now, some of that also depends on what you're doing for your attacks. And for instance, the dark melee really synergizes with energy aura. And believe it or not, martial arts really synergizes well with super reflexes because of the knockdowns and the knockbacks. The incoming damage just doesn't happen that much. And when the occasional incoming damage, most of it misses. Yeah, you're going to take full damage sometimes when you get hit, but you don't get hit that often. And I've had the experience of standing in there and being attacked, and nothing hits. And you can just put one good luck on, plus 25% defense, and you basically floored the enemies. And even without that, they're maybe not floored, but they only have like a 20% chance to hit you. So anyway, my take on this is that this character is weaker than Quintessence Lass was, and Liberty Lass was. Not Liberty Lass, Silver Phoenix was. Both the attack sets and the defense sets, I feel like, have not been as strong. Now, does that mean I didn't like the character? No, I love playing the character. I love the special effects. I love the animations. Willpower is a cool concept. I've also been extremely disappointed in how toggle heavy willpower is, because I could have sworn, and as I said in previous episodes, that when willpower was being debated and talked about and when it first came on the scene, it was supposed to be a set that didn't rely so much on toggles and relied more on passives. And either they changed their minds during the design stage, or I misunderstood, or it's been changed since the powers were launched. And you guys can comment what your understanding of that is. But I was surprised and disappointed as I built this character how many toggles there were, because I didn't really look at that when I took the set. It's conceptually correct for her, so that's all that matters to me. And it's been a perfectly serviceable set, and it's been a lot of fun to play. But I definitely feel like this character is probably the weakest of the melee characters I've gotten to level 50, right? I feel like she's defensively barely keeping even with the Stalker, who should be the weakest defense of Brute Stalker Scrapper. Right? Stalkers have the least because they have their defense powers replaced by hide. One of their defense powers replaced by hide, and because they're supposed to be sneaking up on you. Right? They do the best single target instant damage, and they're really good. I mean, the stalkers are the easiest in a way, right? Because you can sneak up to somebody and sneak up to a spawn and take out the worst person in the spawn in one shot, and then the rest of the spawn's easy, right? So stalkers are probably the easiest. But once the battle is joined and you're getting attacked, I feel like that character was less powerful than Silver Phoenix and Quintessence Lass. So I feel like Sapper, of course. At least we disoriented him. Yeah, I feel like Quintessence Lass and Silver Phoenix were tied as feeling like my most powerful characters. Like I felt like with both of them, there is literally nothing they can't handle. Almost up to fighting archvillains by themselves. Not +0 archvillains, right? Not +3 or something. But yeah, I definitely felt like those two were the most capable of my characters. And then it just in straight up fighting. And then I felt like Tiger Strike, who was my stalker, was equally capable of doing missions with them, if not faster because of the hiding. And I could pick and choose my battles. So she was like the safest, right? She was the least in danger because I could pick and choose my battles, and I never got surprised. Right? There was never a time, I don't think, with her, unless I was being careless, where a sapper just suddenly surprised. Like that door we just opened, there's a sapper standing right there. No other character in the game could avoid being immediately attacked and potentially hit by that sapper. But Tiger Strike, if she was in her hide, would have seen it, and I would have just targeted him, hit Assassin Strike, boom, one shot, he's gone. Almost never got hit with that. So yeah, I felt like those three were more powerful than this character, and they felt much less at risk from enemies, and to the point where Silver Phoenix could fight +3s and 4s, and I was almost bored. Right, not quite, but almost. And Quintessence Lass was pretty much like that too. This character is on +2s, and I feel like it's about what she can do. Quintessence Lass was on +3s. Now I think that Tiger Strike, the Stalker, was only on +2s, but remember, Tiger Strike was an experiment. I was doing just SOs with that character. I did not use any inventions, not even the generic ones, right? The generic IOs. I didn't use any of them, and what I was doing on Rebirth was building up a bank account of influence so that I could trade it down to my other characters so that they could start getting sets before level 50. Right, and they could get IOs earlier on, like by level 30, which is when I usually start doing them, right? So Tiger Strike didn't have any IOs, Quintessence Lass did, and I still feel like even with just SOs, Tiger Strike was able to handle, I think she was able to handle +3s, but if it was +2s, this character should be able to handle more because it has sets, right? A bunch of sets now, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I built her wrong. I'm not really sure about that, but I built all these characters with the same basic building philosophy, and I feel like this character with these two power sets just, maybe there would have been a better primary secondary combo where where each of these sets would shine better with a different pairing. Again, I'm not complaining, right? I'm just saying I don't feel like this character is as powerful as the other three. That's just my sense of it. Now, I love the look of this character. I love the special effects of the punching. She has some of the best special effects in the game, and I really like that. So, that's a plus. But yeah, I feel like this character, and it's really funny with Quintessence Lass at first, I felt like she was weaker because I hadn't really gotten enhanced the self heal that she had, where she was draining the health of everybody around her to heal herself up, which was an awesome power. But you had to enhance it to get it to work. And early on, when I first got it, I felt like it was kind of lackluster and ended up being pretty good. And then there was the other power that was so awesome of hers, which was the the endurance drain from Energy Aura. Those two sets synergize incredibly well. And I feel like Willpower and Energy Melee, they don't clash, but they don't necessarily synergize very well. Now, on the other hand, Tiger Strike, who was the Stalker, was Claw's regen, and there's really no synergy between Claws and regen either. I just liked Claws and regen because, well, I made up the character like right after launch, and I never played her to high levels, and I just wanted to play her. And she was originally a scrapper because they didn't have Stalker heroes back then. They didn't have Stalkers at all. But I said, well, I've already done a scrapper, so let's do a Stalker. But is there another side? I just want to make sure there's no sappers. Okay. But yeah, there was no real synergy with those sets either. I still felt like they were stronger than these two. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Feel free to make comments about the sets, and maybe if you feel like I didn't do the sets properly. But this comment really isn't about sets, because for most of my characters, I didn't have sets until very late 40s, and I had a few sets, but not a lot, and they weren't fully tricked out until like this level. And I felt like this character has struggled compared to those other ones all along, right? Even on DOs, even on basic SOs. So I'm not sure why that is. That doesn't mean it wasn't fun, right? I don't get my fun isn't based on whether I can like solo level 4, level plus 4. You guys know that. I don't care about that. But I feel like compared to those other characters, I feel like I've been a lot more cautious with this character than I should have to be with a brute who has the willpower power set. And I don't know if it's because of the primary not doing enough damage, or the primary secondary effect of Dizzy not being strong enough. I definitely think that Quintessence Lass had the awesome synergy of Dark Melee draining their 2-hit and Energy Aura making her harder to hit. Was a great synergy. I think it would synergize really well with Ninjutsu or Super Reflexes as well for the same reason, or any other strong defense set. And then I think Silver Phoenix just had the advantage of all those knockdown, knockback. She could knock you down and knock you back almost. She couldn't quite chain it, but she could almost chain it. And between Crane Kick and Dragon's Tail. And so, yeah, she could keep enemies on their butt a lot, and that is a huge... Whoa! That is a huge... I was going to say, that is a huge bonus, and I was so busy talking I didn't realize that my health had drained. I mean, I hit the health once. I thought I had him, and then I don't know what happened. I feel like I hit him like 5 times, and he had a tiny little sliver of health, and it didn't go down. And I don't think he turned on any moment of glory powers. Like, those guys don't have that ability, so I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna have to watch the recording. But as you can see, I don't think Silver Phoenix was ever defeated at level 49, and I'm pretty sure neither was Quintessence Lass. And I've been beaten twice here. And yeah, I was careless talking and chatting and stuff, but I was doing that with them too. I think the last Silver Phoenix video, I was doing a big long rant about like the global defense nerf and stuff, or about D&D or something like that. And she was like fighting carnies or something. They drain your endurance, and she's just kicking their butts. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch what happened there. Like, I feel like the health came down here. I put it all the way back up, and then I don't know how I got beaten. So like hit like how it went down so fast. Like so fast I didn't even notice it. We still need to find Dr. Lamar or whatever his name is. And those guys are, the person you're fighting is almost always on the last level, so I guess it's a little lazy, but I generally don't bother, as you've seen, scouring the lower levels because there's generally no point. We have 1B left to go, guys. No debt, or we wouldn't be anywhere near leveling up, but I don't think there's any debt anymore. Where were we? Where was I? Where was that guy? We're not he's not getting away with it. We're going to go defeat him. Let me see. Where was he? Oh, he was upstairs and then downstairs, right? He was in this little stupid alcove here. Alright, he's a full boss, and I guess I got overconfident and didn't turn on my major defenses, but I mean, they like to hit to give you these damage over time little things on the ground where if you stand in them you take damage. Yeah, here we go again. There it is. See, I thought that was going to happen 2 or 3 times when I hit him, and he just never went down. Okay. Well, you got to see me faceplant a couple of times. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Where am I going? We're going downstairs now, and to the next level. So that was an unnecessary battle, right? Because it's not a defeat all mission, so I didn't actually have to take that guy out. But if he's going to defeat me, he's going down. Now, of course, Silver Phoenix would not have been able to knock that guy down, but Quintessence Lass would have had him so debuffed that he would not have been able to hit her. Now, I don't know if what got me was him hitting me or just the dots, the damage over times that I was standing in, and maybe I didn't get out of him fast enough. I mean, you try to shift around, but he puts it down, right, and it covers like a 60 or 80 degree, maybe more, like 120 degree arc around him. And you try to go around the other side, and he'll put another one down, and you basically have to stand in it in order to fight him. If you back up, then you're just not doing damage to him, right? Because you're a melee character. Now, a ranged character obviously doesn't have to worry about that. So there's a door down here, but let's look around this way first. There's another boss. Okay. You obviously need a buff against these guys. Yeah, he does a lot of damage over time. The burn patch is really awful. Yeah, so I feel like in the previous fight I got him to this. Right, I can even disorient them. And then I just couldn't finish his hit points. I'm going to have to rewatch that to see what happened. Look at the damage over time, too. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That's a lot of damage. So if you notice our endurance dropped, the reason it dropped, of course, is because I had put on Strength of Will, and when that goes down, you lose like 50% of your endurance, and you get reduced endurance recovery for a little while. And that's why I immediately took like 2 or 3 endurances, because otherwise my toggles would have all dropped. And I knew that was going to happen, which is why I threw on a couple of defense sets. I threw a couple of defense, these guys. Okay. Go after the sapper and try to take him out. Got him. Okay, that's good. This will take care of Dr. Lamar. Oh, it is a defeat all, isn't it? Stop all wildflower agents. And there's a boss. We should be alright. We'll do some extra damage here, just to take him out faster. I'm going to ignore the minion because he can't do anything to me. And the auto turret absolutely can't do anything to me. I'm not even going to fight it. I'll just take out the minion and then that should complete the mission. So disorienting these guys helps a lot. You can see it. Right. Got him. And now this guy should finish it. And that's the mission. And I'm not going to bother with the auto turret. Out we go. And now I do the next mission. We're on 40 minutes though, guys. Oh, how close are we? So let's just take a look. Oh, we're being attacked by a sapper too. Can we wait to? Can we turn this on? Okay. Holy cow! Is that guy? No. I don't think that guy's. No, he's a giant monster. He's not ambushing me. Shouldn't be. I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time over there. I thought I was being ambushed by sappers. Okay, so what I was going to check is how much XP do we need? Only 179,000, right? And 30,000 for the mission, 39,000 for a boss. Yeah, all right. What do you say, guys? Let's finish it up. I don't think that this will finish the story arc, so we will have another episode after this, but let's get to level 50. So let's go to the base. Because we're going to go to Skyway City anyway. We'll go to the base, we'll replenish our inspirations, and then we will head to the next and final level 49 mission, or well, level 49 plus 2. Too many of those. So I guess what I need to do is keep a break free just in case. Wrong thing. Yep. Again, I never had to do this with my other characters. There was no chance that their toggles were going to drop. And so again, I feel like this character has just struggled a little bit more against these higher level enemies. And where am I going? Skyway City. Okay. A little bit more than my other melee characters. I don't know, guys. Go back, see what you think. I might have to go back and rewatch some of those and see if that's really true. I do know Nightmare Lass had a lot of trouble in her final mission. If you guys remember, I couldn't beat the elite boss. He just kept making mincemeat out of my minions, and there was just no way to beat him with them. And I just gave up. It's the only. I don't know if I auto-completed that mission or I just said I'm not going to complete it because she was already level 50. I can't remember. I guess I should log into her and check. But that's the other server, so I don't have the other launcher installed. Another boss and a sapper. And we don't have our good stuff ready. So we're going to need defense. And we're just attack him as fast as we can. He hit me, didn't he? Not sure. Okay, we should be alright now. I feel like I'm using a lot more inspirations with this character. I feel like Quintessence Lass and Silver Phoenix, often I went through whole missions and never used an inspiration. Maybe I would pop some for insurance against elite bosses and bosses, but I feel like this character needs to use them, whereas Silver Phoenix really didn't. And yeah, you guys will see the difference. It's going to be a little hard because she has incarnate powers now, but somebody asked to see the how Silver Phoenix is specced out now. Another boss right in a row. To see how Silver Phoenix is specced out now, and at like level 50 plus, I don't know, veteran level 20 or something. And so I'm going to do that. You will see. I'll see if I can grab a Malta mission for her, and you'll see how she plays against these guys versus Liberty Last. And I can't do it with Quintessence Last, though. I'd say we could do Quintessence Last too, but unfortunately Quintessence Last is on another server. Which means that things are different anyway, right? That's part of it. One thing I will say, the only character I could do this with would be Silver Phoenix, where I can, like, I won't even need to do a mission to practice her. I know how to do her so well that it'll just come immediately right back to me, because it's just such a natural power set for me. Look at all these bosses. This is awesome. Well, we have all these bosses. We're going to level up really fast, right? What do we have left now? 74? That's 2 bosses. That's awesome. I really hate these giant things though, because like, I don't really look up here. I'm always like looking up above their head to see their health bars. And when you're against the wall and they're this big, it's really hard to see it unless you tilt it up, which is super annoying and uncomfortable for me as a user. We don't need that many blues, I don't think. I would like to get some purples. I don't want to have to go out of the mission to get them, but we shouldn't have to when we level up. Man, look, he still got me almost down to here. Huge amount of damage they do. I don't remember struggling that much against them with Silver Phoenix. Is there another boss? Okay, well, we're going to level up right there. Right, because each boss is 50,000? We only have 14,000 to go. Guys, we are about to level up. Here it comes. Level 50. Get out of that. Man, he hits constantly. And does a lot of damage when he hits. There again, look at that. Got him, and we have leveled up, guys. Rest of this mission should be cake. Look at that, we have 90% smashing resistance now. We're maxed from the buffs of leveling up. And they're yellow, so this will be nothing. We can take these off. We don't need 2 of these. Yeah, I think we should do that. I think I am going to do an interlude with Silver Phoenix, and we're going to see how she plays in +2 missions against Malta if I can swing it. Do we have any other computers in this room? If I can get a mission from Crimson or something that's Malta, and we're going to see how she does. And maybe what I'll do is I'll see if I can do 2 missions. I'll do one without her incarnate powers, and then we'll do one with her incarnate powers, and you'll see how that works. But I won't use the incarnate powers for the first mission, just so we can compare directly, And then we'll put it on +3 or 4, and then we'll do like full on Silver Phoenix with her incarnate powers. And you guys can see the difference. I wish I could do it with Quintessence Lass, but that's the other server, and I really don't feel like downloading another client and installing all that crap um, just to do a demo. Hope you guys don't mind. So we're 50th level. We will finish this story arc. Not sure how much longer it has to go. I think it's just a couple missions. So we'll probably have one more episode with Liberty Lass, and then we are done. And we are ready to make our then we'll have an interlude, and then we're ready to make our Dominator. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, against yellows, they have no chance. It's really only the red minions that have any chance against me. Sometimes an orange if I'm not watching, if it's a sapper, but other than that, yeah. So I think the end of this story arc is a boss, like an elite boss fight. Obviously, it's an elite boss fight, but I think it's go defeat this elite boss, and I think it's somebody having to do with red, like Ghost Recon Red or something like that. And so I don't think this is the final mission, but maybe it is. I don't really know. Stop Project Wildflower, and maybe it is. I mean, it would be kind of cool if the final mission is the mission in which we got our final level. I'm ignoring the auto turret. I don't care about them. They can't do anything to me. I mean, I could literally stand there all day, and the auto turret could shoot me all day, and it wouldn't even budge my health points. So I'm not going to worry about it. The only way I might kill it is if it starts shooting at me while I'm trying to access the computers, and it stops me from doing that. Then I would kill it. But otherwise, like, I almost refuse to dignify its existence because it's so annoying. Click. And they're never necessary as a mission goal because they're summoned pets. Hopefully we'll find some purples before the next boss fight. Okay, these guys are alright. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the travel to level 50 with Liberty Lass. It's been a lot of fun. I like this character. I do want to say I hope that my sort of just candid discussion of that this character doesn't feel as powerful as the others doesn't come across as saying I didn't like it. I love playing this character. I've said it repeatedly. She's very cool. I feel like she's powerful. I just don't feel like she's as powerful as Silver Phoenix. Or Quintessence Lass. I just feel like those characters rocked and rolled a little bit more than this one. I mean, it's a relative thing, right? This character's still awesome. Right? Just as feeling like the character can just handle anything, scale of 1 to 10, Silver Phoenix and Quintessence Lass feel like 10s to me. Tiger Strike feels like maybe a 9.5, and this character feels like an 8.5 or a 9, right? It's just not quite as dominant and invincible, you know. What do we got here? Okay. I'd really like to get purples rather than oranges, but I'll keep the oranges in case we don't get purples because they'll help a little bit. Not against sappers, obviously, but against taking damage. Alright, so there's an elevator in here, so we gotta go the other way first. Okay. No sappies. I feel like this character's two big attacks did more damage than the biggest attacks that like Silver Phoenix had. I don't know if there's anything Silver Phoenix could do, even Eagle's Claw, that was capable of um, one-shotting an orange minion. But maybe we'll see. Definitely got to try it. Teleporting enemies. Okay, I'll ignore the auto turret. There's this guy. You're an idiot. Why'd you come near me? You have almost no hit points left. You should have run away. You definitely can see with this character a lot more red numbers going over her head than we used to get with Silver Phoenix, because again, Silver Phoenix just didn't get hit. So anyway, let's see. Anybody down here? Should be somebody up here. No. Sapper. Around here? No. Okay. Don't know why the lieutenant's by himself. So we have 2 more things to find. Nobody here, but I thought I heard one over in the hallway here. Like over here. Maybe not. Maybe it was the one inside. Okay, so off to the next level. And this may be the last one because there's only 2 computers left. There's a sapper. Another boss, huh? These guys are super accurate, too. I used to notice that with Silver Phoenixes. They used to be really rough for her. I think she used to need elude against these guys. Because they could hit her through her normal defenses, but with elude on, I don't think they could. We'll see if I can get us a Malta mission for Silver Phoenix. She's kind of in the Richty war zone hanging out there, but I think I should be able to get something from Crimson or somebody to get Indigo or whatever to fight Malta. So I'll try. We could do a flashback, but I don't want her to sidekick down. I only would want to do high level ones because we want to see what she's like at level 49 or 50, right? Okay, and then we should see something light up once we finish this. Yep, right there. Huh, right next to me. Boop. Reset the last computer. Alright, we did not finish the story arc, so we have 1 more mission, I think, or 2 to go. So we got 1 more episode with Liberty Lass. It might be short. If we finish it very quickly, I'll switch over to Silver Phoenix right away. Otherwise, that'll be a separate episode. Let's talk to Crimson. And now we get to level 50, guys. So let's head over to, what's her name? Where is she? Minx. So this, I think this is my only my second level 50 on Homecoming, because all my other ones, 3 or 4 of them, were on Rebirth. Level 50, we get slots. So we want to finish Rise to the Challenge so we can put a heal in there. And what else do I want? I could do Physical Perfection. Get a couple slots in that and put heals in there. We could put some defenses in maneuvers. It's only 2.6%, but it's against everything. I don't think we need anything in Strength of Will, right? Whoops. Here. Minus 50% endurance on self. I don't think it allows damage resistance and reduced endurance cost sets. I don't think there's any point. No, enhancements. I don't know if it allows sets. It probably does. We don't need taunt. We don't need build up. Uh, hmm. Heightened senses. This is defense. We already have. And doesn't have anything else that we want. Fast healing is just heal. We don't need that. I mean, we could put a heal set on here. And just put 5 in there. Maybe that's the way to go. Right? Just have 5 out of the 6 and then have a heal set in here. Not that I need the sets right now. Okay, folks. We got a message from Ouroboros. We earned a badge for getting a level 50, but we're still on the Worldwide Red story arc. So we will finish this story arc in the next episode, and then we'll do a 1-episode interlude with Silver Phoenix to see how she does against these level 50 enemies compared to this character, both with and without her incarnate abilities. And I could show you how her incarnate abilities are set up and stuff like that. If in case anybody's interested. And then we will make our Dominator. So look for 1 to 2 more episodes in this series. And because I'll put the Silver Phoenix one as an interlude in here. And then look for a new playlist, a new series to come out somewhere around a little after 4th of July, depending on when I get these done and posted. Yeah, in the next few days. It's a weekend right now, and I don't have any deadlines to play till next week. So I'll probably finish this character by June 30th, my time, and I'm a little behind, 2 or 3 episodes behind posting, so it'll probably be around 4th of July when you get the last episode of this, or the first episode of the next one. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your comments down below if you have anything you want to say about the different power sets and what you like and didn't like. And until next time, I'm Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes with our level 50 character.